Alright everybody, it's Burt from SoftTubes and I'm here with another trailer reaction, and today it is for the official trailer for Season 1 of Carnival Row. A new show from Amazon that I know a little bit about, but not much. So let's jump on in. Click. Okay. So weird to see Orlando Bloom in a TV show. I'm getting it on. The wings are pretty fucking cool.
Name?
Phineas Stonemas.
The chaos of war has brought a new wave of refugees to these shores.
Our streets are safe, no more.
This is our city!
They will never accept us. They will never understand us.
It's time for a fresh start.
God, you don't know, do you?
Know what?
Philo's alive.
You're police?
I've been charged with finding the man responsible for these attacks.
Okay.
You're alive.
You left me in the ashes of my homeland.
This is where we come alive.
The killer's still out there.
She was taken by something unnatural. Neither man nor fae.
I like the aesthetic of this.
She loves you, and it's going to get her killed.
They don't know the truth about you.
A man's no better than the pain he's caused the people he loves and what he's willing to do to set it right.
This is where we come alive.
Interesting. Alright, this is like I like the aesthetic. I mentioned that while I was reacting. I think it looks really cool. I think it's finding a nice for me, it's finding it's a little what you kind of expect. It's not doing anything surprising. When you typically deal with fae in something that's intended for a fucking Xbox, Jesus, intended for something that's more of a adult audience, you tend to go for this darker, more gothic type look. And I can see why they did that. It also, it's funny because I really like the show on Netflix, The Alienist, which is about kind of like the beginning of a lot of forensics and psychology of serial killers and stuff like that. This sort of reminds me of that a lot, and it has me actually intrigued because I like the idea of those meshing of genres where, depending on how they deal with it, I mean, the face stuff has to be important. It can't not be important, otherwise it's useless. But I do like it when you have this show about fae and you have this show about crime and serial killers, and you can find a way to make them both work together, where you're really telling a very normal kind of story with these extraordinary, supernatural, paranormal kind of elements in there. I really like that. I think that's really fun. It's still so weird for me to see Orlando Bloom in a TV show. Like, there was a time when I thought of him as one of the biggest kind of actors around. Like, I really considered him to be real top tier film actor type stuff. So he was always going to do like the big film stuff. And I'm actually happy that, I mean, that's still true to a degree, but he has found a place where he's not like the most sought after actor, and it works in his favor in a lot of ways because he can do a lot of different projects. There is also this thing where it's more big time actors are moving into these shows on streaming services because it makes a lot of sense. I don't know if there was a teaser trailer for this I missed, but I feel like there was. Like, I've heard a little bit about this, I know a little bit of what it was about. Cara Delevingne, I might be overly harsh on her. She looks like she's doing well here. I haven't seen a lot of her. And unfortunately, the little I have seen of her in acting has not impressed me. And really, all that boils down to is her in Suicide Squad And the little bits, I never saw all of Valerian, but I saw parts of Valerian. And neither of those particularly impressed me. Valerian was a bit different because there was also a lot of me going like, are these two brother and sister or boyfriend and girl? I don't know what, like, it's weird. They just looked so similar that it was very odd to be like, I think they're supposed to be lovers. The movie also tries to like build her up a little bit. But it keeps on then going like, oh no, this is technically a movie about him, so it gets a bit confused. So I don't think those are the greatest places to judge her on. This might be the place where I should be judging her from, because it looks like she's putting in a damn good effort here. And I think it'll be really interesting. Hopefully those two have good chemistry, because this is a show, like, they are banking on these two actors, because they are Carnival Row and those two names, which typically puts me off a lot of these kind of projects, because I'm not too keen on stuff that sort of banks heavily upon name. And a lot of times that stuff doesn't always do so great. But maybe here it'll work. But the problem is, yeah, you need good chemistry, because your entire like spine of this show, with even with all the crime stuff and that war stuff and the refugee thing, all these allegories that are clearly going to be there, there's this part of it where it's a romance between these two characters, and it's going to be that romance that holds everything together. If it feels even a little bit flimsy, the whole thing's going to fall apart. It's just not going to be good enough. And so I think that's going to be a tricky line if it's not quite there. They're going to have to find a way to kind of hide that. I will be interested to see it. So this looks pretty cool. It's not, I'm not like, I was hoping I would be a bit more excited for it than I am. Because there's a lot of shows that have been coming out lately. I've been seeing bits of that. I'm like, oh, I really want to see that. I really want to see that. Like, I don't know if I ever did a reaction for anything for The Boys. If I hadn't, I kind of wish I did, or I wish I'd done a little bit more. Although I'm kind of happy in a way I didn't, because I thoroughly enjoyed that show, and I didn't really expect it. It was something I'm like, hey, I'll check it out. I didn't think I was really going to like, and I devoured it. I really got sold on that world. And I want more shows that can do that for me, because my problem with a lot of shows like Stranger Things, I'm struggling to get through season 3. I've watched an episode and I'm like, oh, I kind of want to know what happens next, but also there's not a huge drive to get to the next episode, where it's a case of like, it's just not selling me on that world enough. Where I think season 2 hurt me on Stranger Things a little bit. The fact that when it came to, it was like, season 3's coming, I'm like, oh cool, I like Stranger Things. And I was like, I don't remember anything about season 2 aside from that really bad 11 episode, and a lot of people I talked to, that's what they remember. They're like, oh yeah, there was a big thing and that was that really bad episode. So I want shows that can do that for me again. They really pull me in. This is the kind of show that has a lot of world building. I think it can. Whether it will be interesting. Thankfully, it's on Amazon, so I get a chance to check it out immediately. I have this real conflict. Amazon are a bad company on so many things, but they keep doing stuff that I like. And so there's the idealist in me and the consumer in me, and they're fighting it out because they're putting a lot of really good shows on Prime. Although I guess I can feel a little bit better about these are things happening on Prime Video. Whereas a lot of where they're a bad company is when it comes to the shipping stuff. And I don't use that as often. So I can feel a little bit better about it, I suppose. But yeah, they're doing a lot of good stuff. I think they're making a big move to be Netflix's biggest competitor if they can. And in terms of as consumers, that's a good thing. It means they're pumping a lot of value into these things. Whether some of their stuff is actually going to land as well as they want, hard to say. I don't know how popular The Boys was, because it had some real money pumped into it, because you can see it in those sets. The production value is high in that show. And it looks like it's pretty damn high in this show, but I don't know whether they're necessarily going to be finding the audiences they need to, and so that's going to be the trick. We are in a weird period where we're going to see a lot of interesting stuff come out, I think. Netflix just posted the other week a massive loss, which I don't think they're as concerned about as people might expect. I think they knew it was coming, but it is a thing where they're spending a lot more on original programming. Like, they still do buy stuff and then slap it on like, oh, Netflix original, because it hasn't shown anywhere else, even though they didn't make it. But they are also pumping a lot of money into making original content. And Amazon are doing it, and Stan's been doing it a fair bit for a while. And I think that's kind of what it's going to come down to, is each of these big streamers are going to start pushing whatever they can. And it might, maybe they'll all find a nice medium, or I think some might die off in the way. It's going to be rough, but as consumers, it means a lot of stuff to watch. But that is also the risk, where if there's too much, maybe we're not going to get around it. Like, oh, I'm interested in that, but this has me slightly more, so I'll get back to that, and then the audiences get too divided up. But it will be interesting to see if that does hold true. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think of Carnival Row. I kind of went off on a tangent there at the end, mostly because I don't fully know what to get out of the show. Like, a lot of it seems pretty on the surface there at this point. There has to be a twist. There seems to be something eldritch horror-y going on, which I didn't mention, actually. I just remembered. Whether that really is as much of a thing as it appears to be, or if it's actually something else. It will be interesting to see how the show goes. And it's a season 1, so they're planning on multiple seasons, so you can almost guarantee a cliffhanger at the end of this. Which is always risky. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of the look of this in the comments below if you can. If it's based on anything, let me know. It feels like it has to be based on something. But it might be completely original. It's just got that feel where it's like, oh, did someone entirely make this for TV, or is it from somewhere? But if it is, then you know, let me know in the comments below. I'll sort of look into it a bit more. And yeah, so just let me know your thoughts. If you liked this video, hit the like button. If you didn't like it, hit the dislike button. And if you're new to the channel, you like the reaction, you like watching reactions, make sure you hit that subscribe button. This is a lot of what I do here. This is another week where I'm gonna be a little maybe hit and miss on. There doesn't seem to be a lot coming out. There's so much stuff that I sort of want to catch up on at some point, but just getting around to it. But if there's not a lot coming out, I'm also writing at the moment, or trying to write, so that's taking up a little bit of my free time. And I'm also pretty busy this weekend, so how many videos I get out, I'm not sure yet. It really just depends on if there's anything that's really coming out that's like, oh, okay, I need to react to this. Or I haven't done a video in a couple days. I really need to put something out. And if that's the case where there's nothing really coming out as like a trailer, and I haven't had a video for a couple days, it will probably be something from the last couple weeks. But I'm assuming there'll be something. There's always a few things. And I've still got stuff that people have suggested to go to as well. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Okay.